All right, my friends. I know I set this to go live in like an hour from now. So just give it a few minutes here for everybody to join us with this little live stream. Well, we got 10 people. We got 10 people on here, and look, 10 people. We got 10 people on here, and look. You know what? If you weren't planning on watching for the next hour, it just I just wanted to get the show started and explain myself. So we got 27 now. Let me swap over here from top chat to live chat. If you're in that chat box, swap over to live chat because I don't. If you're in that chat box, swap over to live chat because I don't know what considers a top comment or not. You know, you let YouTube dictate what's important, what's not. Swap to live chat. It's fast coming by, but at least you get to pick and choose what you want to read. All right, so I got 45 people. And folks, I know it's probably a bad time for you. Like if you're in the States, it's like 7 in the morning. You're probably trying to get ready and go to work. And, you know, I don't know, maybe you're on the way to work. So it's not that great of a time. But all right, so we got 51 folks. Okay, so all right, so we got comments coming by. How's the audio? Can you guys hear me? Audio is pretty good. Make sure I got all my technical stuff up here. Okay, King of Calves. All right, you hear me fine. Okay, cool. We give it a few more minutes. Once I hit 100 people on here, then I'm gonna start talking about why the purpose of this live stream. Got 56 folks. Hey Jenna, how you doing? And folks, there's so many folks on here. I just gotta say, welcome everybody. All right, welcome everybody. But the reason I can see Jenna is because her little smiley face is just easy to spot, you know. So, thanks everybody. Okay, Dennis said hungover. My friend, hungover is not even the word to describe how I feel right now. And I didn't sleep last night. I'm still hungover. I am still, to a certain extent, state of inebriation. But right now I'm drinking coffee, and my voice is just now starting to come back. So, all right, so we got 69 people. I'll give people a few more minutes to get on board here. Let's see. More beer. Okay, hair of the dog. All right, Sarah. Hey, I love you too. You know, I want to tell everybody, I got a good group of subscribers. And this is like very strange for me because I've always been an introverted dude. I've always been sort of a loner. And for some reason, I have connected with some of the most loyal folks and most loyal subscribers. And it's very strange. It's very flattering. I mean, I'm honored. And I think by you know, a couple of crazy stuff that I do, that I haven't lost my whole subscriber base. It just says, you know what, there are some you know, there are some real people left in the world. And so I want to say thanks to everybody for being a subscriber, for I know there's been several times, there's probably several videos and several things that come out of my mouth that, probably cuts pretty deep on some of you folks, and it's a wonder why, you know, I haven't lost my entire subscriber base, and it actually keeps growing. So it's very strange to me. It's very flattering. I'm honored that I've got 8,000 people that want to listen to my voice and just put up with some of my craziness and some of my antics, because I'm a crazy dude. I mean, if you haven't figured that out right now, I'm a crazy dude. And when you put a lot of alcohol with that combination, a lot of folks can't tolerate me. So, all right, what are we at? 97 now. So I got 97 folks. Once we hit 100, and I'll just have, if you're watching this video later on from start to finish, I'll just say, hey, I scheduled it for an hour out, but I was just ready. I'm ready to start talking. My internet is fast right now. Everything's good, so I just wanted to get it on. Let's just lean into it. It's gonna be a long live stream. If something goes down and I'm not finished talking, I'm gonna fire up another live stream. Sometimes YouTube doesn't make it easy to get the same. Well, I think now when it disconnects, I can get it back on the same stream. But if this thing goes down before I finish what I want to talk about, I'm gonna fire up a new live stream, even if I have to go down to an internet cafe or something. All right, so we're at 98. All right, looking at the comments. Okay. All right, we're at 106. So I think. Okay, thank you very much. Buy some Panadol, bro. That's from Mr. Booyah. Thank you very much, man. I don't take drugs. I don't take any type of drugs. I don't take even an aspirin. I've never taken drugs. I don't like drugs. I'm just an alcohol dude. So Panadol, what's that, like Tylenol, or is that like some, I don't even know. All right, the title of this live stream is I Had a Bad Night. I'm going to explain why. And some of you tuned into that live stream last night and, saw some of the carnage and didn't really understand what the hell I was talking about. And I talked to my buddy this morning. When you have a bad night, let's just all agree first right out. We all have bad nights. We all have bad days. Whether you're at work and you get spanked for something at work, you did something wrong, you didn't do something, you screwed up at work, you get spanked. Nobody likes to go to the principal's office. So you got a bad day at work, right? And you're feeling, lower than a snake's belly. And the only thing that really happens that I think works on it is talking to a friend, right? Thank you very much, Jody. Thank you very much for that contribution. Thank you very much, my friend. So you have a bad day at work, and what helps me what always has helped me, just talk to my friend. We just get on the phone. I talk to my best friend. I talk to my dad, and it gets smoothed over with that and some time. Okay, if you drink, if you party, if you go out to a bar, I guarantee you've had a bad night at some point in your life. You went out, you got a little too drunk, you either A, made an ass out of yourself, B, you got into a fight, C, you woke up with one of the ugliest women you've ever seen in your life laying next to you. And Zapruder, thank you very much. Thank you very much, my friend. So we've all had bad days. We've all had bad nights. And if you're a drinker and you party and you get drunk, I'm pretty sure you've done some stupid stupid shit, just like me. Now, if you're just now joining me and you think that my channel is just about travel, it's not. Okay, this is more. I mean, yeah, I travel, food, beer, and visas, but this is also one of the reasons I do this is so the younger generation can learn from my mistakes. And if I walk outside and get hit by a car right now, the knowledge I've left on YouTube, I hope it helps one person with one event in their life. And you know, a lot of knowledge is being lost because the older generation, nobody has time to go talk to grandpa anymore and get some wisdom. And they're dying and they're not putting this stuff on YouTube. So I said, you know, I'm starting right now in my life. And in addition to, you know, my travel stuff, I'm going to put life advice, life events, so the younger generation can learn. So if I die tomorrow, maybe this video lives for the next 20 years on YouTube. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you've had a bad night and you had to wake up, you had to make some calls, do some apologizing, you know, try to find where your credit card is. You know, in my case, shit, you know, I've lost credit cards. I couldn't find my car. Waking up in strange women's apartments. I mean, the whole gamut, right? So we're just all gonna agree we've all had a bad night. Last night I had a bad night. And anyhow, so my buddy called me this morning. He said, yo, dude, I know you had a bad night, because he saw some of the carnage. And I said, man, I'm still in this funk right now. But I said, dude, I need a break. I need a break from everything. And basically what I felt like this morning was Charlie Sheen. I told my buddy, I said, damn, man, I said, God damn, man, I've turned into Charlie Sheen. Just a train wreck. Just an absolute fucking train wreck. And this little bit of fame that I have right now, I now understand why Hollywood celebrities do stupid shit and just get crazy and just do things you would like, why do they do that? And folks, I've been partying like a rock star pretty much my whole life. But with this tiny bit of fame, I've got folks recognizing me on the street, which is so cool. But what's the first thing they say? Hey man, let me buy you a beer. Let me buy you a drink, dude. And that is, I am honored by that. And I'm a redneck. And I think Cat Williams said this in one of his videos. Okay, I am not prepared to turn down a free beer because I'm a redneck. Thank you very much, Jody. Will you be in Angeles when I come there soon? Maybe. Shoot me your dates or something. I'll talk about it at the end here, man. Just let me know when you're coming, brother. But thank you very much for that. So, yeah, I'm a redneck. I grew up dirt poor. Okay, free beer. If you put a sign up that says free beer, you could take every redneck in the world and they're gonna come to that party if there's free beer. So this little bit of fame and the fact that I'm already a party guy, I'm already crazy, and I'm meeting so many cool people, hey man, beer's on me. Folks, I am not prepared to turn down a free beer. And it's like 24/7. 24/7. And then, you know, what do these celebrities do? They have some huge incident, they get locked up for DUI, they do some really stupid stuff, get arrested, they get this nasty mo shot, you know. I understand it now because it just does it to you. And so last night, anyhow, I had a bad night. I talked to my buddy this morning. He says, look, dude, you just got to hit the reset button. You got to hit the reset button and give it some time. He said, man, everybody last night they weren't pissed off at you. They were like concerned for you. And I was like, really? And when I checked I just hit a quick scroll to see my subscriber count, and I just fully expected that everybody was gonna run away. And when I saw that everybody was still there, I was like, man, that's impressive. That That's impressive. And I told him this morning, I said, man, I started to just go off the grid for a while and, just take a pause and just get away from everything. He said, dude, you got a responsibility to your subscribers because right now they just think you're like on drugs or you're crazy. Well, after we talked, I felt better. I said, you know what? I'm going to fire up a live stream tonight and I'm going to basically lay it out there. This is not a reality show. This is not scripted. Okay? My mind is so foggy that I took some notes. Okay? I took some notes just so I would remember everything I wanted to cover. But there is nothing scripted on here. This is not the reality shows you see on what these cable channels where it's really not reality. It's a production. So I said I'm going to explain myself. And when I decided to open up my life to the world where other people can learn from my mistakes, everything's not going to be pretty. Life in my world has never been a constant like this. It has been a high. It's been a low. It's getting punched in the face. It's having some good times, some bad times, anger, crying. I mean, this is my life right here. And your life might be a little bit more stable. Maybe you went through that divorce a few years back or whatever. But my life, it's like highs and lows, just extreme peaks and valleys. And we always say that the drama is what the drama is what keeps us alive. But that's just what we say. We say, man, if it weren't for the drama, we would be sitting in a rocking chair about half dead, with medical problems, right? All right, so I'm going to explain myself last night. I'm going to summarize it. I'm going to summarize it in some bullet points here. All right, bullet point number 1, there was a lot of drinking. Number 2, we added in a lot of deep emotions that I'm going to explain. Okay. Number 3, there was some baby mama drama. Okay, just the way it is. There was some drama with a baby mama. I think we all understand that. Number 4, I got thrown out of a bar. And number 5, I decided to fire up a train wreck of a live stream. Okay, everything else, that's just basically the bullet points, right? So I had a very bad night. And I'm gonna tell you the story. I'm gonna tell you the story. And how do I start this out here? Let's see. All right, over a year ago. Okay, over a year ago. Ladies, I love you, ladies, but I'm in the middle of a live stream and I can't think if you're over there chatting on that phone. Thank you, honey. Okay. All right, I got it. I love these ladies, folks. They take care of me so good and they put up with so much shit. About a year ago, thank you very much, man. San Miguel Pilsen, my friends. Stay cool. Thank you very much. About a year ago, I came to the Philippines and I was going up to Angeles City. But before I went up to Angeles City, let me preface this. You know what? It has no bearing as to where I'm at, or this is not a travel show. This talk right here is about life. So let me back up. About a year ago, I was at a bar. And I was just having a drink. Okay, pick any country in the world. It has no relevance to where I'm at right now. I was having a drink and I looked over and this girl was staring at me. And she walked up to me and she said, "Your name is Marcos." Well, a lot of people around the world remember my name because Marcos is easy to remember. I don't know why, but they do. Especially when I say Marcos. They just make people laugh. So I said, "Wow, how'd you know my name?" And she said, a few other key things that only people who know me closely would know. And I said, how do you know all this about me? And she said, hey, I used to be in your class. And then it hit me, and I recognized her. We were classmates in another country at language school. The country's irrelevant. We were classmates for a few months. That's the extent of her knowing me, of me knowing her. Okay? And ladies, you guys got to go outside because I'm trying to tell a deep story here. And you two are looking so beautiful, but you're chatting. Let's go out on the balcony and have a good time, okay? Sorry about that interruption, my friends. No script here. So I ran into an old classmate, 2-3 month acquaintance / classmate. And one thing led to another, and we hit it off, and we ended up back in my hotel room for a one-night stand. The next morning, she left. I went on my way, and about 3 months later, I get a message from her. That was the extent. It was just, I mean, anybody can relate to this. If you go to a bar and you meet a girl and you have a one-night stand, okay, you run this risk, right? It's part of life. So 3 months later, I get the call. It says, hey, I'm pregnant. And I said, well, congratulations. She said, no, it's you. You're the culprit. Well, number one, okay, this girl hangs out in bars a lot, right? She's a party girl. And number two, I've had so many scams. I've been the victim of scams. I hate the word victim, but I've been scammed by chicks around the world, in multiple countries in the world. When I first started going around, I fell for a lot of this stuff. And the old pregnancy scam is like this. You know, you visit a country, you hang out with a girl. 2-3 months later, she's going to get in touch with you and say, hey, I'm pregnant. And you're the father. So you say, okay, cool, let me send you some money. I want to take care of you. And she's like, hey, I got to go to the clinic. You send her money, whatever. And then you're like, okay, I'll book a trip. I'll be there in a couple months, you know, and I'll meet your family and we'll talk about it. Okay, so you send her money like every other week. And then about the 6-month mark, when you roll into that country to meet this girl, okay, you realize she's not pregnant. Thank you very much, Benny. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you, man. Good to see you. And you realize the girl's not pregnant, and it'll turn into some story like, oh, I lost a baby 2 months ago, and it was so sad for me. I didn't want to tell you. And folks, it was a scam from start to finish. The girl was never pregnant. You sleep with a girl, and she knows you have to go back to your home country. Some girls around the world, they're unscrupulous. They lie. They're going to do anything they can do to get money. So when this girl called me up and she said, you know, I'm pregnant, you're the culprit. Well, she's a party girl. But I said, you know, she's a classmate. So I'm like 50-50 whether or not I want to go down this rabbit hole with this girl. But I said, all right, well, here's what we'll do. I said, I will pay for everything, you know, from now on until the child is born. And I'll show up there, I'll meet your family, we'll talk about the situation. And I said, you know, we were classmates, so kind of made us pseudo friends, if you want to say that. And I said, this is the gentleman agreement I will make with you. You know, when the child is born, I will come there, I will be there by your side. And when I look at that child, if that child looks just like me, everything is wonderful. I said, if the child is born and it's obvious that that's not my child, you know, say he, looks like the neighbor or looks like her local boyfriend or, the point was, if the child comes and he's not my child, I'm not mad at you. I'm glad I was able to help you, but at that point, you've got to pursue the true father of this child. And I said, that's as fair as I can be. You know, in the back of my mind, I'm still, okay, are you pregnant or are you not pregnant, right? So, at about after this conversation, I lost communication with this girl. And I was texting and calling. It's like she just turned into a ghost and disappeared. I came back, and for like 3 weeks trying to find the girl. And finally, like the day before my flight, or the night of my flight out, okay, my visa's expiring, I have a flight, I'm leaving. This girl shows up like 2 hours before my flight, finally. And I said, look, I've been here for 28 days, 29 days, whatever it was, trying to find you to talk about this. And she tells me a story that she had to pawn her phone, and so she didn't have her phone. Well, that's a lie, because what happened was her boyfriend stole her phone, saw these messages to me, and then later on was sending me like death threats and stuff, right? And pictures of him and her, because she's got a boyfriend. Now, so, you know, the girl hassled me for money. I said, listen, I got to get to the airport. I don't have time to go to an ATM machine right now. My taxi's on the way. My car's on the way. I've been here for a month trying to talk to you about this situation. So anyhow, I left. Shortly after that, I lost all contact with this girl. She turns into a ghost. You know, her boyfriend destroys her SIM card or her phone, whatever drama she's in, she does not communicate with me. I don't know her family. I don't know where she lives. I don't know anything about this girl other than what I've already told you. So, the baby was born 6 weeks later. The baby was 6 weeks old when I got some communication with this girl that said, hey, I had the baby. When? 6 weeks ago. Okay, well, don't you think you might have wanted to call me about a week or 2 weeks ahead of time, or maybe, about 4 months ago, and keep me informed? Oh, I had to pawn my phone. You know, some stupid story, right? You can't make this shit up, folks. You cannot make this shit up. And she does pawn her phone, and her boyfriend does steal the phone. When he steals the phone, he sends hatred my way. So this child is 6 weeks old. And I said, send me a picture. And when she sent me a picture of this little girl, when I first laid eyes on her, I knew she looks exactly like me. She looks exactly like my baby picture. There was no doubt in my mind at that point. There was no doubt. I said, I'm coming. So I come to her country, and she disappears for like the next 3 weeks. Same little disappearing act, right? Off the grid. 2 days before my flight, she comes back up on the grid, and I was able to go down and meet this baby girl for the first time for one night. For one night, because I had plans, I had to go. And I said, this is ridiculous. I said, just don't do this. Is whatever you have going on in your life. I understand. You have a boyfriend, you have a life, whatever. Okay, this is about a child. This is not about me and you. There never was a me and you, honey. There never was a togetherness of us. We partied one night. This is about a child that needs a mother, a father. She needs support. All right? She needs people to lean on. So I'm here now, and when it first started out, she brought the baby girl to me. My baby girl was staying with me. And folks, I know you guys think I'm just some crazy drunk, raging alcoholic. A lot of you do. When my baby girl's here, I'm not the same person. All right, I don't act the same way. I don't carry on the same way. Okay, instead of, running the streets, I'm sitting here watching Disney cartoons, because that's what I prefer to be doing. So everything was fine initially, and then we had this gentleman's agreement again that we would just do 50-50. She stays with me 1 week, she comes to you 1 week. That is as fair as you can be about children, right? 1 week with me, 1 week with you. And matter of fact, when you pick her up, I'll give you some money. I'll send diapers, milk, baby wipes. I'll send the whole gamut. Okay, you'll never have to buy this child not one piece of clothing. I have family in the States that's sending boxes and boxes and boxes of clothes for this child. So it was a perfect agreement, and it lasted not too long. So I guess about a week ago, when it was supposed to be my week, this drama started. Not bringing the baby. You're not never gonna see her again. Don't ever call us again. I'm gonna block you. And I'm like, what did I do to you to deserve this? We are not in a relationship. We never were. The only reason that I have any love for you is that you're the mother of this beautiful baby girl that life has provided us. But what have I done to you? All right? Your boyfriend threatens to kill me all the time. Whatever. What have I done to you that now all of a sudden, the 50-50 agreement gets screwed? So that's how this started. That's how my night started, and it actually started. My bad night started a long time ago. Not because of our child together. That's a miracle. It's a blessing. It started because of absolute illogical drama, stupidity, childishness, ridiculousness, and last night it just kind of came to a head. And I'm gonna go back to my notes here. I know I'm rambling, but that's the backstory. I had a bad night because this girl is not letting me see my little baby girl. Now, let me get focused here, folks. Let me get refocused here. All right, so I talked about the scams and stuff, right? I talked about that. Talked about my relationship with this girl. And this a couple things that was cutting me deep, right? This girl's a party girl. She's out at the bar every night. Who's taking care of our baby? Where is the baby? Wouldn't it be better to let her stay with me? Okay, I got two girls here with me 24/7, whether you agree with me or not. They're very nurturing to her. Okay, one has 2 children. Okay, my wife is she's been around babies, helping out in the village her whole life. These ladies here are the best mothers and providers that you could ask for, and they're here with me 24/7. And we kind of have like this rhythm where when the baby's here, I don't sleep at night. I stay up, and usually I watch her because I watch her to make sure she's breathing. I cannot go to sleep at night. So I let the ladies sleep and rack out, and I pretty much just stay up. And the minute that she whimpers, okay, she's got a bottle. She gets a diaper change, okay, and I stay up all night. So she has a very good environment here. There's no drinking and craziness around her, all right? So when I see this girl, and I know this girl is out hanging out at the bar every night, I'm like, where is the baby? Who is taking care of her? Wouldn't it be better just to let her stay here with me? So anyhow, for whatever reason that this girl has decided to do this to me and to the child, she's doing it. And okay, all right. So I kind of told you the story. That's the story. And to summarize what went down last night, I've already summarized that. It was baby mama drama. And names, places, all the rest of that shit's irrelevant. What I'm trying to talk to you about is this is about the weaponization of children. And it's very prolific in America. America leads the way. And our mentality in America spills over into other countries around the world. You know, not 100%, obviously, but, you know, I've been to a lot of places that girls could never fathom trying to weaponize their kids and use their kids as a weapon against the child's father. They haven't heard that Western ideology yet. They have no idea what you're talking about. If the father wants to see the kid and they're not together, please come get the kid, right? They have no concept of child custody, visitation, all of these just horrible, horrible concepts that developed in the United States and through Hollywood and everything else spills over into these other countries. So countries that have more of an American influence, they're more closely tied into this ideology, and people are starting to try to emulate it. And it's you know, what I call the weaponization of children. Women around the world, I mean, some men too, but predominantly women. Predominantly women use children as weapons and means of control because they're pissed off at us men for some reason. Whatever it is, they caught us cheating. They don't like our new girlfriend. They're pissed off for whatever reason in their own life. And it's what I call the weaponization of children. I'm gonna go to my notes here, all right? Because my head is still a little foggy. All right, so we all love our kids. Thank you very much, Roberto Medina. Thank you, brother. We all love our kids, right? How far would we go to, you know, defend our children, to nurture our children, to keep our children safe? How far would you go? Now, I've already told you a million times, I don't advocate any type of violence. I've seen enough violence in my day, and I don't advocate any form of violence. So I'm not talking about that route. But while we're on the subject, you know, people in America get arrested every day for some form of domestic violence. And a lot of times what sparks it is the kids. I'm not giving anybody a pass. That's not the point. The point is the argument starts over the children. And then it goes from there. And then somebody ends up going to jail. How did we get to this point as a society, as the human race? How did we get to the point that we have these words? And I'm gonna go through this list of words. Child custody. How the hell does that word exist? Visitation. What the hell is that? What the hell does that mean? Child support. Custodial parent. Those terms that I just read off, if you hear those words, it should invoke the same hatred. If you hear the word Hitler, the KKK, I mean, I'm talking the most nasty words. When you hear these words pop into your head, right? And it immediately invokes this nasty thought. When I hear the word visitation, it makes me cringe. And I just wonder how in the hell that when we went from caveman days, which I wish the hell I was living in caveman days. Do you think a cave woman rounded up the kids and ran off out of the cave into the woods or the jungle or the bush or whatever, and said, "You can't see your kids." How did we as a society get to the point where if I piss you off as a woman, I went from being a father to this unknown individual that shows up every other Friday at 6 p.m. and takes you out to eat? How did we go to this? You want to know why there's so much violence in America? It's because the system has removed fathers from the children's lives. Number one, dad's getting taxed so bad that he has to work 2 jobs, he's not there. Number two, mom gets pissed off and files for divorce. The system kicks dad out of the house, and now he's that every other weekend idiot. That's why kids in America are so violent, because they don't have dad to love them, yet turn around and pull his damn belt off and discipline these badass kids, right? The system has removed fathers from the lives of children, and that's the problem with society. This morning, I was talking to my buddy, and he said, man, he said, it seems that no matter where we go in the world, we have no rights as fathers. You know, a chick can take our kids away, and there's nothing you can do about it. So back to what happened last night. All right, and you know, the comments are coming too fast. I don't know what you guys are saying about me right now, because I'm trying to focus and I'm still in this fog. I got drunk and I started looking at pictures of my baby girl. And between the crying and the passing out and the getting pissed off, it turned into a bad night for me. And the particulars are irrelevant, but you add getting drunk, missing your kids, and start looking at pictures of your kids. That's the recipe for having a bad night. Maybe some of you have been there. Maybe some of you, you know, you had that same combination and you did something stupid and went to jail. People go to jail every day. Domestic dispute, a lot of times it's over money or you got caught cheating, but you know what? A lot of times it's over that nasty word called visitation. So folks, one of the reasons I want to do this video is because, you know, when the mother will lie often to the kids about, you know, what dad is or what he's done or what he hasn't done. And it's a lot of lies. You know, they're just programming these children because they're with them every day. Oh, your father's a sorry loser. And you only have, you know, 4 days a month to try to counter this, right? And it's just human nature. Wherever the kids live, that's what they know. That's what they're told every day. And with my son, you know, his mother used him as a weapon against me for many years. And there's only one person in this world who I do have a hatred for, and it's her. You robbed me of time. You robbed me of time with my child in his childhood. I can't get his childhood back. You know, when he was a young kid, there were certain times where he liked hanging out with dad, right? And then they get so old, they don't want to hang out with dad. Well, guess what? You can't get those years back. You robbed me of those years. And therefore, I do have some bad feelings for you. So, you know, folks, I'm in a fog here because I lost my train of thought again. Okay? Ladies, please turn that down because I can't. It's feedback. Thank you, baby. Thank you. So, where do we go wrong? Where do we start this? Where do we start weaponizing the kids and punishing the dads? And so for them years, while my son was getting programmed by his mother about what a bad person I was, horrible father. How the hell can you be a father when you got a court order and you can only get the kid, 4 total days a month? 4 days a month. That's what in America, that's probably what you get your kids for, right? How can you be a father 4 days a month? You can't. The system removed you from being a father. So this whole situation, folks, this whole situation was, I got drunk and I started looking at pictures, and this girl won't let me see my kid. And I said, with technology these days, this YouTube video may live longer than me. Again, if I walk outside, get hit by a truck, and I die, this YouTube video is going to live on, unless YouTube bans me, which, hey. And so this is what I'm going to do. Just so later on in life, my baby girl can watch this video and know the extent that I'm going through right now just to try to be in her life 50% of the time. And so her name is Maria. And so I'm just going to talk to Maria for a minute. If you're watching this video, hopefully you don't have to watch this video. Hopefully you're sitting right here, wherever we're at. I hope you're with me. And I hope that this drama blows over. But I'm going to tell you, and this is just from like the past night, all right? Your father's a crazy dude. All right, over the past couple weeks, I've asked your mother, please, probably 2,000 times, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 times. Please, let me see Maria for my week. Please. Number 2, I pleaded with her. Pleaded with her. Please, please. Number 3, I started begging. I started begging, okay? Any form of begging that you can imagine. I have begged your mother, please let me see my Maria. Just please let me see her. I'm not running away. Where am I going to go? I'm not running. I just want to see Maria. It's my week. It's my week to see her. That's the agreement. I haven't done anything, to your mother. And so that's what I've been doing. I offered her money. I said, listen, just bring Maria to me. I'll give you this much money. She said, no. I upped the money. I kept upping the money. I said, please, just bring me Maria. I will give you $1,000 just to go away. Just let me have my week with her. Let's talk about this. Let's stop being like this. I will give you $1,000. It didn't work, okay? So I offered her money. I don't know where your mother's family lives because she's never let me meet that side of the family. And when I first met you the first time, she purposely made us go to the hotel, and then she took a tricycle over to the village because she didn't want me to know where she lives. I don't know your mother's family. I've never met them. I don't know where to go looking for you. Or I would go talk to her family and say, please help me with this girl. Please stop this. I don't know yet. The only thing I knew was I knew where your mother hangs out at night. And I went there and I staked the place out a couple days. Caused a little bit of drama. I got thrown out and threatened with arrest. And got banned. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be there doing that. I would rather be right here with you watching the iPad, watching your little, the Disney cartoons, and me and you just having our father-daughter time together. But what can I do? I've tried everything else, and I've sat here. It's been almost 2 weeks since I've seen you. And so, I went down there and I kind of already talked about that. Um, I think what I want to do, I want to establish a hashtag in your honor, and I'm going to start a new movement. Because if there's any movement going on right now about fathers' rights, it ain't working. It's not working. It's not working in the conventional manner of movements. It's not working. I mean, if somebody knows anything about fathers' rights, it's the most ineffective movement. If there is a movement, it's combat ineffective, my friends. It's combat ineffective. And if you're in America and you're that every other weekend dad, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So there ain't no movement. Not that I'm aware of. There is no movement to put fathers back into the lives of their children. It's not happening. So what I want to do, I want to start a hashtag, and I think it's already been used a couple times, but I checked the hashtag on YouTube. It's only got like 2 videos. And I'm going to start a hashtag called #FreeMaria. And I'm going to hashtag everything I do from now. So when you get old enough to go to YouTube on your own, all you got to do is #FreeMaria. And if you see my face on that video, I'm talking about you. Let's see. All right, what else am I going to do? I'm just going to start advertising to the world my frustrations until you come back into my life. And I am assured that this drama and this craziness is not going to happen again. And as much as I hate lawyers and attorneys, I'm going to have to hire one. Well, actually, I'm going to have to hire 2 in 2 different places, 2 different countries. So I want you to know right now that I'm not sitting back here taking this lightly. You know, I would give my life for you in a heartbeat. And so therefore I'm prepared to take any form of action that I can take, you know, to just try to stop this drama, stop robbing me of time with my baby girl. So that's what I'm doing right now, and there'll be more. There's more coming, and I hope that in a few weeks we resolve this, and you're sitting on you know, right here watching the iPad with me, and we're having our time. My mind's still a little bit foggy. Let me go back to my notes here, folks, and then I'm going to go to the comments, and I'm going to discuss this, all right? All right, let's see. All right. I think I kind of laid it out right there. That's why I had a bad night. I got drunk. I started looking at pictures of my baby girl, and I went crazy. That's it. Everything else is irrelevant. Let me take a look at the comments here, and then I'm going to pose a couple questions. All right, let's see. Fathers are second-class citizens in the USA. I pretty much agree. Okay. All right. Some of these comments, folks, I guess this is what YouTube channels are for, right? For nonsense. Hashtag, I'm gonna hashtag everything Free Maria. And at some point, I'm gonna show you a video of her. I'm gonna show you her picture. And she's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. And again, if you're the younger generation, I hope you learn from my mistakes, my failures, and my life events. And that's why I'm putting it out there. You think I mean, most people don't want their dirty laundry aired for the world to see. Most people are very secretive about their divorce because it's embarrassing, right? It's embarrassing. They don't want to talk about it. But then when you file these court documents, the lawyers spell it out, and mostly it's like 99% lies. Wife's telling 99% lies. You got to counter with 99% lies. So there's no truth in those documents anyhow. And nobody wants to talk about really why you're getting a divorce, or why you can't get along. Nobody's learning anything because people are afraid to air their dirty laundry. I wrote a book called The King's Chronicles: How to Escape the Wrath of American Women and Live Like a King. And in that book, I air a bunch more dirty laundry about marriage, divorce, chicks keeping our kids from us for no good reason. It's one of the big reasons why society is turning so violent and it's crumbling. And everything just came crashing down on me last night when I started looking at those pictures. I'm like, I don't want to go down this road again. I went down that road for years in America with like horror stories. And the old trick that was the most heinous, and maybe some of you guys experienced this, but when it was my turn for my son to come see me, I lived in one state, his mother lived in another, and so thank you very much, Jody. Thank you very much. You just have to go to my website and send me a message and give me a little time to respond. I buy a plane ticket for my son, and I go to the airport. I'm waiting. You're waiting at the gate, right? And usually the unaccompanied minors would get off last with the flight attendants, the flight crew. So I know this. I've done this many times. I'm sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting, and here comes the flight crew. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Where's my kid? Where's my son? And they're like, what are you talking about? And they get alarmed because they think there's a missing child, or, what do you mean? I said, here's his itinerary, whatever. He's on the flight. And so everybody gets to scrambling, whatever. And they figure out he wasn't on the flight. He never checked in. So then I start calling, and this is back in the day, folks. This is back in the day, And you start calling and calling and calling. Nobody answers. About 3-4 days later, finally get his mother on the phone, and she's like chomping down on some damn potato chips, Oh yeah, he wasn't feeling well, so we decided not to put him on the flight. Now imagine that. Imagine you're sitting there waiting and watching all these people offload off of this damn plane, waiting for your week with your child. And back then, what's a plane ticket? What, $250, $300? You just spent a lot of money on a plane ticket. You've been waiting for hours. You've got this whole week planned with your child. And because she's a bitch, she doesn't put him on the plane. Uses him as a weapon against me to hurt me. Weaponization of children. So, when we finally did go to court, right, I had to get a lawyer. You know what the judge said? Because we asked for, we're going full force. I was leaning into her. The judge said, ma'am, you need to make sure next time you put him on the plane and better communicate with Mr. Blackard if the child's not feeling well. That was it. There was no repercussions. There was no hold her in contempt. I didn't get my money back on that flight. I didn't get a week back with my son. I got laughed at by that fat fucking judge in Texas. I got laughed at by him, and I got laughed at by my ex-wife on the way out of the courtroom. $5,000 down the drains for the fucking lawyer, and actually he was a good dude. That was the only dude that ever went to bat for me. I don't know if he's still alive, but that's the only dude that ever really went to bat for me, but he just kept taking a beating. So I got my money's worth out of him, but it was still $5,000 down the drain. Just, ma'am, make sure you better communicate. Better communicate what? That she's going to use this kid as a weapon? And the judge just gave her a green light to say, well, if the child's sick, you obviously don't want to put him on the plane. You just need to better communicate that you're going to screw this dude, you know, and give him the shaft with his kid. Folks, I've been down this road. I've been on this road too many years. And yesterday it just culminated in looking at those baby pictures and just wondering what the hell have I done wrong to deserve this type of treatment. All right, so my buddy said, he said, dude, you got to explain these guys. Explain to them you're not some lunatic, you know, high on dope or something. No, I'm not high on dope. I was drinking heavily. I don't even remember half the night. I have no idea what went down last night, but I know why. And I think I had a question here that I wanted to pose. All right, I think this is my question here. It goes along with the weaponization of children is the commercialization. Okay, why should one person, whether it's the man or the woman, but it's usually the woman, why should either party profit? You can call it child support, you can call it alimony, whatever, but it's profit. Why should one person profit and the other person get the kids? Or excuse me, why should a person profit from getting the kids? Why does there have to be profit involved? Why can't it just be a 50-50 split? 50-50 on the time, 50-50 on paying for everything. Because most of you know when you pay child support, it doesn't go to the kids. It's like, who was a comedian that said, Cat Williams or whoever? Somebody said, when you're married, you know, a box of cereal costs $5, and if you get a divorce, that box of cereal is $500 to feed the same kid, the same box of cereal. I mean, come on, folks. How did we get to this point? How did we get to this point in society? All right. So I got some comments here, but I think the point in America, it's a weaponization. It's a profiteering scheme between the lawyers and you know, every woman in America. There's a few dudes out there maybe getting some child support, but there ain't many. All right. Let me go over here and read some of these right here. See if anybody has some meaningful comments here. Can't change the past. Move on with your new lady. Okay. Yeah, you can't change the past. That's true. You can't change the past, but I mean, I'm talking about this is the present and the future of this little girl. And folks, if I'm not a part of her life, I'm just gonna say this: I have to be a part of her life. That's it. So yeah, the past is the past, but you know what? I've learned lessons from it. I'm still learning lessons. But this is the present and the future. And the only recourse that you really have anywhere in the world, the US especially, but anywhere in the world, you go hire a lawyer. You pay this dude some money. And then you get robbed of time. Whether it's 6 months before you get your day in court, a year before you get your day in court, you just got robbed of a year. And then they reschedule it. The judge's going to think about it. You're going to get robbed of 6 more months. And then when an order comes down, you what do you get? Two days every other week? You're going to get robbed all the way around. The only recourse you have, other than you know, some of the nonviolent protest methods that I'm using, is to hire a lawyer, get robbed of time, lose your money, lose your dignity, and you still don't win anything. So that's where I'm coming from. Welcome to my world. This isn't a reality show. This is me. Made the decision to open up my world. And like I said, this video will live longer than me. And I want Maria, I want you to know I'm here. I am here for you. And I'm not being afforded that right or that privilege. And I'm doing everything I can to be a part of your life. And hopefully we'll get things back on track. But if something happens where you know, I can't get things back on track, then just feel comfort in the fact that I love you, and I'm doing everything in my power to be a part of your life. And I think about you every day. Every time I look at your pictures, I break down. I just break down and, you know, cry, go crazy. You know, that's it. All right, folks. If you're just joining me, I know this was the regularly scheduled time. I kicked it off early, and you'll just have to watch it from the beginning. Yeah, okay. Now, folks, I'm going to tell you this too. And again, if you just join me, hey, I kicked it off an hour early. You missed it. You're just going to have to start from the beginning, my friends. So I got to do a couple things. I gotta do a couple of things in my life right now. I've talked about it in a previous video about every now and then you got to check yourself with the alcohol. I'm a hard party dude. I love to party. But every now and then you got to check yourself. And it's time for me to check myself. So effective today, what today is the 21st? 21st. Right now, I'm not drinking. I'm checking myself. I'm gonna go on a hiatus of drinking. I'm taking time off from drinking. Time to dry out. Make sure 100% I'm still in control, which there's no doubt I am. I've never had a problem. But I'm gonna take a break from drinking. If anybody sees me, hey man, I'll have a drink with you, but I'll drink a Coke or a cup of coffee or whatever. And that's just the way it's got to be. So until further notice, I don't even know what it is. You're either on the wagon or off the wagon. I don't even know what that saying means. I can't remember. Some dude explained it one time about being on the wagon, being off the wagon. I'm not drinking. I'm gonna take a break. It's like my buddy said, man. Every now and then you got to hit the reset button. And so right now it's time for me to hit the reset button, dry out, regroup, and I may take a hiatus from YouTube as well. I've got a few videos. One's about to drop where we kill some pigs up there and had a barbecue. It's got a little bit of philosophy and politics in it. It's a little jaded. YouTube age restricted it for whatever reason. But that thing's gonna drop. I have a couple more videos I'll upload. Thank you very much, man. Thank you, man. I will buy a Coke, my friend. And I hope I say your name. Is it Vadrikos or Vadikos? Thank you very much for that Coke. And folks, I'm gonna take a hiatus from YouTube. And I don't want you to think that I just need a break. I need a break from looking at screens all day. I need a break from drinking. I need to take a break and just reset. So I will be dropping a few more videos, and I may go off the grid for a while. And that's what I got to do. I got to go off the grid. And I guess what's the lesson here? If you're a hard drinker, if you're drinking too much and alcohol is causing problems, well, guess what? It's time for you to take a break. Take a break, dry out. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't mean that you're not still going to party like a rock star later. Every now and then, you got to take a break from drinking, and you got to reevaluate what's going on around you without the effects of alcohol, making decisions. When you're drunk, you don't make the greatest decisions. And when you're smashed, you certainly don't make or say, you say some stupid shit. At least I do. So it's time. I'm resetting. I'm excited about it. And I got to get off the grid for a while. I got to get off the grid and just take a break. So I guess even if you're a celebrity, right? Even these dudes in Hollywood, they take vacations, right? They go hide out somewhere where nobody recognizes them. And, or maybe they're, fighting an addiction or something, and they go to some rehab center and kind of chill out for a while. And that's what I'm going to do. But let's see. I'm trying to read these comments. Folks are coming so fast at me. I'm going to reset for a while. And so don't think that I'm, just think what you want. I got to hit the reset button. I got to take a break. I got to get off the booze. And I got to think clearly. Thank you very much, Jody. If you go off the grid, how will I get to meet you? Look, man, it's all going to depend on your dates, my brother. Okay, it's all going to depend on your dates. It's gonna depend on your dates. Just you got to send me an email on my website and send me your dates, and hopefully our paths can collide. But sometimes that's what you have to do, right? All right, so let's take a serious comment here. Anybody got a serious comment? Anybody got something serious to have to do with the subject of, I'm sorry, Jody. I said my brother. I guess I should say my sister, right? Jody's a girl. Jody, send me an email so we can talk. Dusty Rose, the suggestion is that a person who is, all right, shit, it's going by so quick. So, folks, I want to say thanks again. Thanks for everybody for sticking by me, for being a subscriber, for coming to my channel, putting up with some crazy drunken rants. And I think I gotta reset a few things. I gotta reset a few things because I want to take this thing to the next level. And what's been going on? Like technical wise, I'm always screwing things up. Technical wise, I screw up everything. This video the other day, Benny the Mac, thank you very much, man. All right, I'm gonna read this from Benny. Don't overthink things, brother. Been an emotional few days, obviously, but nothing wrong with having a few days or weeks off. Make sure you're good for January. Let's chuck a whole goat or pig on a fire at your beach condo. That sounds like a plan, man. That sounds like a plan. I have every intentions of being here January. I'm looking forward to meeting you, man. I appreciate the kind words, and I appreciate all your support. And we'll definitely barbecue a couple hogs, man. And let's see. Okay, Vaticos, thank you again, my friend. Serious comment. We love you, dude. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much. And who we got here? Luis Listeri, thank you very much, my friend. Folks, I hope I didn't bore you out of your mind. I hope I didn't make you late for work. I think I got most of the points out of the way. What I wanted to talk about. I don't know where it takes me from here. I don't know. I mean, I hope that the best solution is for me and this girl to somehow come back together as friends, and we both support this child. And I'm not talking support in the form of money. I'm talking about being there for this child in every way, not just giving you money where you can go buy new clothes. No, I'm talking about being present. Back when I was 5'0", when you talk about levels of use of force, right? From the lowest level to the highest level is, having to shoot somebody, right? Okay, the first level of force in the use of force continuum is presence. In other words, you call the police, and just the fact that they show up and being present calms a lot of people. Presence, just being present, being there. And I'm going to apply that to children. The first thing that we have to do to be a father is we have to be present. You don't got to be the best father. You don't have to have all the answers. Okay? You can be the dumbest guy in the room. Okay, but look at this movie, Forrest Gump. Thank you very much, Zapruder. I will pray for you and your daughter, King. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jody. Early December. Okay, Jody, I should be here in early December. All right, Eric, thank you very much. Thanks for everybody for supporting me. So, like I said, I go back to, you could be the dumbest guy in the room, but if you're the father, just have a waiting room, right? You're at the waiting room at a pediatric clinic. You can be the dumbest guy in the room, the dumbest father in the room, but guess what? If you're present, you can be the dumbest, ugliest dude there, but if you're present, you're 100% better than anybody else that's not there or that's running away. So all I'm asking for right now is to be present. Because when you take that away from me, you can't do anything else. You can't be a father unless you're present. And the systems around the world, especially in the West, have removed us fathers from merely being present. That's the problem. That is the problem. So what I'm asking for, my girlfriend, if she's watching this video, she's not my girlfriend. It's my baby's mother. And I know when people say baby mama, baby's mother, it's how else do we address a girl that, that you had a one-night stand with somewhere, or your well, then she would be an ex-girlfriend, but how else do you address a person, a girl, that you had a one-night stand with, and you guys had a child? What do you call her? So how do you refer to her respectfully? Because this video is not meant to trash anyone. Daughter's mother. Okay, daughter's mother is a little more respectful than baby mama, right? Because when you say baby mama, then you got to follow it up with drama. Okay, so my daughter's mother. And that's right, hashtag Free Maria. And I want that to symbolize the fact that we fathers of the world are struggling. We are struggling just to be present in the lives of our children. We are struggling. We are begging. We are pleading. We are fighting to be present. That's all we want. The only right that we really want is to be present. Rob me of my money, that's one thing. Okay? People have taken my money on at poker tables. People have, take your money in so many forms. Okay, the government takes our money, whatever. That's life. Take my money. But don't rob me of time. Because that's basically, to me, a violation of my basic human rights. If you want to talk about what basic human rights are, it's the right to be present in my child's life. That should be a basic international human right. We shouldn't have to go as fathers and go pay attorneys to force somebody to allow us to be present in the life of our child, our children. We should not have to call an attorney. It should be 50-50. This should be a basic human right. You should be able to call the police, the FBI, and report the fact that you haven't seen your kid for your 50% of the time, and it should be a human rights violation. It should be a hate crime. You know, you can call some people some choice words, and the damn FBI will investigate you, and you'll go to federal prison for some type of hate crime, for just saying words. But you let somebody take your child away from you, your only recourse is to go pay some attorney $5,000 to fire up some paperwork that ain't gonna go your way. Folks, being present in your children's lives should be a basic human right. All the rest of this talk and all this drama and blah, blah, blah about human rights, you know, people are like focused on saving the Vietnamese fishermen on these fishing boats because they're blah, blah, blah. Hey, it's a hard life being a fisherman. Okay, when you're in extreme poverty and desperation, you got to go work on a fishing boat. It's horrible conditions, right? But who the hell is standing up for dudes like me, or probably half the people watching this now, dudes who have been through a heinous divorce, where the minute his wife files for divorce, he's got to move out of his house and see his kid every other weekend, and then wonder why he walks in and shoots up a damn school or a movie theater. Who's standing up for guys like me? Nobody. Nobody. It's just implied now that if you have a kid, send all your money to your daughter's mother. Thank you, Jenna, for giving me the proper terminology. And then they get to dictate when you can see the child. How did we get to this point? How did we get here? I have no idea. I don't get it. I don't get it. And it doesn't seem to be going back. The pendulum is not swinging back the way to support fathers. It just keeps going worse and worse and worse. Thank you very much, Hassan. A beer and a meal on me. Stay strong. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. And folks, I'm going to change the subject here, and I want to go over some numbers here, because I did do a hashtag divorce. So if you're tuning in here and you're going through a divorce, okay. So if anybody sends me super chat money, give me just a second. Don't send it right now, because I want to go over this. I put that quote up there that basically said, you know, every now and then, what's the quote I put? It just popped into my head, and a lot of times when these quotes pop into my head, what I do is I Google them, because maybe I've heard them before, or maybe not. So I just Google this quote I put in there. It said, sometimes life deals you a shitty hand, and you're dumb enough to play it. So I just plugged that into Google to see if I'd regurgitated that, or if it just popped into my head, right? I don't see anybody that made that exact quote, but I stumbled on this website, and this dude's talking about his divorce, and I'll try to put a link down there. But basically, he tells his whole story from getting married to the divorce and what it cost him. I'm just going to read you one section. This dude said, it took me 13 months with numerous hearings to get my divorce. Okay? I was hemorrhaging money each month because every amount of money coming in was earmarked for my legal defense. When it was all said and done, the damage to my net worth was over $850,000. Now, this is obviously a successful guy, right? Here's his breakdown. $300,000 for my own attorney's fees. So $300,000 for his attorney. He lost the entire value of his 401k, which was $140,000. The judge awarded her the entire amount. She got the whole 401k for whatever reason. She got his health savings account, which was 25 grand. She got alimony for 3 years, which came up to be $75,600. How does this happen? How does this happen? Child support for 6 years until he finally gained full custody of his daughter. $151,000 for child support. But this gentleman basically saying he kept fighting, he got her back, right? Good on you, bro. She got the equity in 2 condos, $60,000. And he had to pay this girl $100,000 in cash, which was due 30 days after the divorce decree, to contribute to her legal costs. Judge gave him 30 days to pay 100 grand to her attorney. Now, this guy says, by the time I depleted my saving, he depleted all his savings, he was in debt, and he said he had to pay this $100,000 by using credit card checks. You know when they send you those checks in the mail and you write a check, 0% interest for a year or whatever it is? He had to pay within 30 days this amount of money using credit card checks. The judge don't care. The judge don't care that he's already broke. The judge don't care. Either pay up in 30 days, dude, or you're in violation of the order. Thank you very much, Eric. Okay. Thank you very much. So he goes on to say that he wished he could have completely washed his hands of her, but unfortunately the lawyer gave him one last parting shot that cost him another $225,000. So his divorce was over $1 million. And he doesn't, I think he elaborates in another page, whatever. But his next paragraph is climbing back up the cliff with broken legs. I'm gonna put a link down in the description after I finish this feed. I don't know who wrote it. I don't even know why I stumbled onto it, because when I Google that quote, I somehow or another come up with this guy's web page. All right, so let me go back over here. All right, folks, I got 246 people watching. I know I'm starting to slow down, get a little boring now, but I am still in a fog. That's my situation. I'm gonna keep you updated on it. Hopefully it has a good ending. I'm praying for a good ending. I'm praying that we can just come to our senses as adults, and me and my daughter's mother just have a meaningful conversation and stop the drama. And all I'm asking for is just 50% of her time. Asking for 50% of her time. That's it. That's all I want. I just want time. But we'll see. We'll see. So it looks like, I got to pay a visit to an attorney, fire up some attorneys. Let's go down the rabbit hole again. But that's what we're willing to do, right? We all love our kids. And I love this little baby girl. And every time I look at her picture, I can't take it. So I got to take action. And my hashtag will be #FreeMaria. My daughter's name's Maria. And everything I do is going to have some connection until we resolve this. And that's just the way it is. So, folks, I want to thank everybody who threw some super chat money our way. Obviously, we certainly appreciate it. I think on, was it Friday night? I think it's Friday night, the U.S. time, is when that pork video is dropping. It's already set up to drop as a premiere. And if I'm off the grid, I'm not going to be in the chat box. So if I'm not there, it's just what's got to happen right now. I'm going to warn you about that video. It's a graphic video. I think I've put plenty of warnings up there. YouTube age restricted it. Therefore, it's not monetized. There's nobody can send no money. So just enjoy watching the video. If I'm not there, enjoy chatting amongst yourselves. I'll try to make it, but it's actually a pretty funny video. It's 2 hours long, and I don't know if I'm doing it right or not. I decided to drop it on Friday night. I think is that Black Friday? I think it's Black Friday, right? I don't even know. But if my calculations are correct, I figure you'd be out shopping all day long. People in the States go shopping early, go crazy on Black Friday, and then at night, you kick back watching Christmas shows or whatever. But if you've already seen all the Christmas shows a million times, it's a 2 hour flick. We killed a couple hogs. It's very graphic. If you're not okay with watching animals be slaughtered, you need to pick another video. Don't come to that video because it's graphic. I put plenty of warnings, age restricted. I don't know what else I can do. But YouTube allows stuff like that for educational purposes. And where do you think your meat comes from? Somebody's got to slaughter that animal. And in the West, it's hidden. The dirtiness of it is hidden, and people are very sensitive to it because they don't realize. They'll be sitting there. Thank you to Philippine Cowboy. Buy yourself a few Cokes and take some time off, bro. That's exactly what I'm going to do, man. That's exactly what I'm going to do, and it's time. So, yeah, if you guys watch this video, it's graphic, very graphic. There's some cursing, obviously, but it's 2 hours. I think it's got some good entertainment value, but it's also it's educational. This is how, in different countries, animals are slaughtered in different ways. I'm going to show you how it's done in the particular country on the video. I'll get a lot of keyboard warriors sitting at Starbucks eating a nice cream cheese and smoked ham bagel, and they're going to hit me. And they have no idea where that smoked ham come from. So join that video. And like I said, maybe I'm screwing up by letting it drop on Friday night, but like I said, I'm a YouTube idiot. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing with a lot of this stuff and the timing, and it's just trial and error. Maybe I get no views because everybody's gonna watch some new Christmas show that night. All right, whatever. I got a couple more videos I'm gonna drop, but then if I go silent for a while, hey, just look at some of the old content. There's one video, I think it's called Coconuts, Friends, and Good Whiskey or something. That's a pretty cool little video. It's G-rated. A G-rated video. I used to make some G-rated stuff. Maybe I go back to that for a while. And I don't know how many times I cursed during this little live stream. Maybe a few times, but I don't think it did too much. Maybe this is PG rated here. 241 people hanging out with me, and I hope you guys have a good day. I hope I evoke some type of thought with this video. I think, in that movie Top Gun, where basically, Maverick gets spanked when he cut that move or whatever, and she said, that's exactly what not to do. It's exactly not a textbook maneuver. Unfortunately, the gamble paid off, or whatever it was, right? So I think this lesson here is don't do as I did, and I'm not talking about the fact that I have a baby girl from a one night stand. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about it that, I mean, I have to take responsibility that maybe at some point along this relationship with my daughter's mother, there were points where I went wrong, where I could have played things better to where she would be glad to see me coming instead of trying to punish me. I'm not giving her a pass. But I think the lesson for the younger dudes on here is that at some point down this timeline, right? At some point, I made a lot of mistakes too. I made several mistakes, or we wouldn't be here. At some point in this timeline, you know, it's kind of called, it's like that show, you know, Seconds from Disaster or whatever it is, or when you watch Air Crash Investigation. You know, at some point during this timeline, there's a series of events that takes place that leads up to the disaster. And usually it's not just one person's failure. It's an accumulation of failures. It's multiple systemic failures or human error or cutting corners or cultural, you know, internal cultural issues. Thank you very much. Stay strong, mate. Thank you very, very much. Mr. What is it? Mr. Booyah. All right, man. Thank you very much, my friend. But there's a series of points in any disaster where one person or one incident or something, if you derail that, it would have derailed the disaster, right? And so I've got myself into this disaster with this girl. She's pissed off at me for whatever reason. And I have to go back in this timeline once I sober up and just look at a calendar and say, you know, what did I do wrong here? Okay, maybe I gave her X amount of money and she needed a little bit more money and I was just trying to be, you know, be difficult. Maybe I could have gave her an extra 20 bucks or 50 bucks or whatever it was, right? And said, you know what, maybe she did need it. Maybe she was having, you know, some bad times or whatever. She needed a little extra. Hey, maybe I could have done that. Or B, maybe I should have took this girl out to lunch when she least expected it and talked about her day. Maybe I should have gave her some more attention. Even though we don't have a relationship, we do have a child together and that locks us in. I'm not always right. Yes, I call myself the king. Yeah, I love that identity, right? Because in my mind, I am the king in many ways. But what I say in my book is that when you're the king, everything that happens in your camp, in your castle, you, the king, are responsible for. It's sort of like the captain of a ship, right? Okay. Like one of my ladies, you know, she went out, about a month ago? Thank you very much, Scott. Are you still there in Manila? Let's hang. Man, I'm not in Manila, man. I'm not in Manila, and after this video, I'm going off the grid for a while, brother. You'll have to catch me on another date. I will be around. Thank you very much for that, brother. So, if you're the king, you are responsible for everything that happens in your castle, good, bad, ugly. The other night when my girlfriend went out down to McDonald's and got hit in the head or hit with a beer bottle, whatever the true story is, she swears up and down the kid threw a rock and hit her in the head. That's my fault. That's my fault. You know why? Because it was late at night. You really need to go out late at night and go all the way hell down there in the chaos, whatever, to get a hamburger? No. I should have said, hey, you know what? It's late. Let's order a pizza. I could have made that decision and everybody would have been happy and she wouldn't have got hit in the head by that rock. So I take responsibility for that. I take responsibility for everything that happens in my castle. And that's what happened. I could have went back, and I will go back on this timeline and figure out where I went wrong. And I'll learn from it. So folks, I'm not blaming this girl. It's a 50-50. It's 50-50 with kids. Damn, Benny, thank you very much, man. I'm out, King. Here's for Friday. If no super chats allowed, keep head up. Looking forward to the slaughter on my birthday, Friday. Keep doing your thing. Have a good night. Here's for some cokes. Thank you very much, Benny, and happy birthday. If I don't talk to you then, man, happy birthday, bro. I hope you have a good birthday. I hope people are throwing you a birthday party. And I hope you have a good day down there, man. Thank you very much, man. Cool. That's been Big Money Benny. Everybody knows him. So that's where we're at, folks. And we got 238. So it looks like I got 238 like really hardcore folks that want to hang. And I think we'd have a lot more, but the time is not good. But I want to say thanks for everybody for tuning into this live stream, listening to what I have to say about life's problems, the problems that I'm living, the problems that I've lived. And I'm not trying to shut responsibility off on anybody. You know, I'm the king of this castle. I allowed this situation to get to this point, even though I'm still saying why. I'm still saying why. Why, you know, why do you want to do this to me and not let me see my kid? But I could have done so many things different over the past year that we would be better friends. And I guess that's the lesson here. If you're going through a breakup, you're going through a divorce, realize that you can let it get as shitty and as nasty as you want it to. You can keep going down that rabbit hole. You can keep delaying it. You can keep delaying some agreement because you're arguing over who gets the good towels. In my book, I tell the man, just give the lady everything. Just give her everything. She's going to get it anyhow. The lawyers want you to keep it as going as long as they can. Lawyers bill by the hour, my friends. There is no incentive for a lawyer to settle your case in any quick manner. He's going to get that retainer up front, and then he's going to try to drag it out as long as he can because he's making $250 an hour. They're billing you. So you can keep letting the attorneys get your money. And ladies, they're getting your money too. They're getting a piece of that, of your husband's money. That's money that can come out, that's coming off of your table too, whether you like it or not. So you can keep going down this dark rabbit hole, arguing with your soon-to-be ex-spouse, letting the lawyers rob you blind. Men, the ladies are going to get everything anyhow. Just give it to them. Ladies, we men, really all we want to do is just be part of our kids' lives. We'll give you the house. We'll give you the cars. We'll give you the good towels, everything in the house. Okay, we'll give you all our money because you're going to get it anyhow. But the only thing that we really want is just time. We want time with our kids because their childhood is temporary. And once they hit 18, they're off on their own anyhow. And every day that you rob us of being able to spend time with our children when they are children, we can't get that back. We can't get it back. I can go out and make more money. I can buy another car. I can go buy some good towels. I can buy new furniture. I don't care about all that. You can have everything. You can take everything from me. But just don't rob me of time with my kids. It should be a crime against humanity for any situation not to be a 50-50 time split between the mother and the father. It just I think that should be human right number one. If there is a book of human rights, got all these organizations throwing all this stuff out there. But if I had to sit down right now and write a charter and write, the Bill of Human Rights according to my kingdom, and maybe I do, I will start writing it. Human right number one is that the children will spend 50% of their time with their father and 50% of their time with their mother. And under no circumstances will anybody violate that. It should be like like a life sentence if anybody violates that. It should be an international criminal court if you try to take kids away from the other parent. I think that's the way it should be. All right, my friends, I'm gonna go ahead and close this because I'm fading out. I am just like a zombie right now. I'm an absolute zombie, and I'm looking forward to like the next 48 hours to just dry out from the booze. And once I dry out from the booze and kind of regroup and take my next steps. Take my next steps, Try to come up with a different strategy of talking to my daughter's mother, and if need be, firing up the attorneys and going down that road. All right, hey, watch our pig barbecue video on Friday, whether I join you or not in the chat. Watch it on Friday. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And I want to have a serious debate on this too. And part of it is about where does our meat come from, right? So I'd like to hear what everybody has to say. If there are some vegans out there, how do you say it? Vegan? If you only eat vegetables, whatever. You got any friends that are with PETA? Have them tune into it. And I rip PETA a little bit during there. You know me, I'm not politically correct, and I just want to invoke thought. I just want to poke people until we invoke thought on a serious issue. And you just can't be a keyboard warrior working for PETA, supporting PETA, hashtag PETA, when you're sitting in Starbucks eating a cream cheese and smoked ham bagel. All right, you can't do it. You gotta understand this. Just lost touch of reality about where our food comes from and how it gets to our table on a bacon sandwich. Invite all your friends to watch that video. It's graphic. I've said it a million times, so I think I'm good with the lawyers now, with the disclaimers. And let me know what you think. And I'll see you guys when I see you. So I appreciate all the support. And Maria, if you're watching this, darling, don't think for 1 minute that I'm not here for you. I am here for you. I am here. I am thinking about you. I am talking about you. And I'm gonna do everything in my power, every day of my life to be a part of your life. And that's my promise to you. I'm not perfect. Nobody is. But that's what's going on. That's what's going on, darling. And folks, let me say one more thing too, because this is another game. Let me say one more thing. People say, why don't you just give her money? Give her some more money. Give her some more money, right? When I give this girl money, she disappears and she becomes a ghost. The more money I give her at one time, the longer she becomes a ghost. And I figured that out, after a while. I was like, wait a minute. The more money I give her, the longer I don't get to communicate with the child or get an update when I'm not here. So what do? You give her big money, she just gone for 3 weeks till the money runs out, and then it comes back. So that's a little quagmire it's put me in too. And you know, one of the things that really hit me, and this is probably the only little graphic detail I'm gonna go into. Not graphic, but just, you know, she hit me up begging for money. I said, it's my week, you know, let me just come pick her up. And they know, ladies, you know how to pull on our heartstrings, right? And this is what the girl said. And this is what she told me. And this is one of the things that set me off. I'm going to tell you this one detail. She said, send money, you know, Maria needs diapers. And she said, she's out of diapers, so I'm just putting her panties on her and letting her pee in her panties. What kind of person, how can, folks, I crumble. I fucking, here, I'm sorry, but I ain't gonna apologize. Listen, I'll stop the cursing. I melted right then. I melted. Now, number one, she's lying, but just the thought of what she created to try to invoke me to send money. What kind of people do? I mean, how can you? What kind of person says some shit like that? I would never flip that type of behavior back at her, you know, by weaponizing a child. Who does this? And the answer is a lot of society now. A lot of society. Whether you're saying it in a text message or you're saying it in an affidavit that you file for divorce, trying to trash, you know, the other spouse. But I crumble to think that my baby doesn't have diapers, but I can't send her money because she just takes it and disappears. It's like enabling an addict. If you give an addict money, what do? They go get high. You can't give an addict money. You know, parents give their kids money because they don't want them to go get caught stealing, but they take the money and they go get high. Well, you know, with this situation here, if I give her money, she just disappears for days at a time. There's no communication. I can't even talk to her. The more money I give her, the longer she disappears. But I absolutely crumble when she said that, you know. And that's the last detail I'm gonna leave you with. All right, and that's as far as I want to take this video. I still got 207 people here. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys when I see you. I hope everybody has a great evening, great day. You know, when you see your kids, you give them a big hug. You hug your kids tonight, and you spend some time with your kids. And you hug them, talk to them, spend some time with them, and be damn thankful that them kids are there with you. And if you're sitting in your easy chair, you know, crying right now because you can't see your kids because of some court order, you're the every other weekend dad, my friend, you got a lot of people that understand exactly where you're at, brother. A lot of people have either been there, they are there, or they're gonna be there. And it's just the way the world is. Folks, thanks for joining me. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for not dumping me as a subscriber when I go off on these drunken rants. And I'll see you guys when I see you.